All right, this is a supplemental video to my Transformers Legacy Evolution Trashmaster review. I wanted to show how I put together my version of the Junkasaur combiner. The official version, or official, the one that they actually showed off, uses two versions of Crashbar. One of them just looked like a test shot, but presumably you just have to buy two, or they're planning to release like a repaint of him down the line and just haven't yet. And it also used, in addition to Scraphook, it also used axle grease. My version only uses one of each of the three main guys here, just like the regular Autobot Junkion colored Junkion. So no axle grease, no toe line, no second Crashbar, just one Scraphook, one Crashbar, one Trashmaster. So yeah, let's get on into it. First off, you want to start by taking the Trashmaster body here, and you just want to sink the head into the body, and then you want to fold this panel up. You don't actually want to fold it all the way, just kind of most of the way, but we'll adjust that later. And then the arms, you want to rotate down like this, and then kind of rotate to the back like this. Again, these will be adjusted later, so it doesn't really matter all that much. That's just the general orientation. And then you want to fold these pieces out so you can rotate around the waist, and then take this brown section and then fold it onto Trashmaster's chest there, just like that. And then take the leg socket pieces and just angle them up like, just about that much. We'll adjust that in a bit, and then take these panels and fold them back in. And that's how you want the Trashmaster body there. So we'll put that down for now, and then take the Crashbar body. You want to just fold the head in, take these arm socket panels and just rotate them each 90 degrees so they sit like that, and then take the thigh pieces and kind of rotate them down part of the way. We'll adjust those in a bit. And then you want to take the gun sections that came with Crashbar, and you want to take this piece, and you want them oriented like this so that the big section is facing forward and then the handle section is off to the side, and you plug those into the arm socket sections just like that, and then kind of rotate them in. And what you're actually doing here is getting these two pegs closer together so that now these can align with the hips on Trashmaster. So you might have to angle those until you get them adjusted to the right orientation there, and then just plug them both in, and that's how you want that sitting. And then you can kind of bring those thigh sections down so the Crashbar body is sitting as close to the main sort of body section as possible. Then you want to take the front of the truck sections of Trashmaster, plug them back together like they usually are, and then use these pegs, and these will go into the thigh sections of Crashbar, and just leave it like that for now. And then you've got a couple options here for how you want to do the head and neck section. You want to use the Scraphook body section in its vehicle mode orientation, and then obviously take the like Trashmaster Junkasaur head section, because that's the whole point. That's why we're doing this. The orientation that I like the best is you take this section, and then you take the two thigh sections on Scrap Heap, and those will plug into these pegs on the guns here. You kind of have to like adjust these a little bit, kind of like widen the thighs. There's just enough give that you have the clearance to do it, but it's not, they don't actually line up perfectly, but it all seems pretty solid there. And then you take this section and just kind of fold that as flush as possible to the body section here, and then you take the Junkasaur head, kind of fold this panel up, and then plug it onto the back end of the arm sockets from Scraphook, just like that. And that is one orientation that you could do for the main body section. I've also fiddled around with it and found that it also works if you want to take this the Scraphook panel and rotate it around the other way so that the head has a bit more of like a neck section, and then you could plug it on that way and then just kind of bring this further in. I think I like the other version better. You just get a little bit more versatility with the head, and I like the way that the body is shaped better, but either of those work. So I'm going to switch it back to the other orientation just because that's what I prefer, but you've got some options there. And that's pretty much the main body section, so we'll just put that off to the side for now, and we'll do the legs. The legs are very simple. You just want the two Trashmaster legs and the two Scraphook like lower leg sections. Make sure you don't have these the engine guns in there, because we'll use those for something else and they'll just get in the way. And you actually want to swap these, so you're taking the left Scraphook foot and the right Trashmaster foot. and vice versa. And you just want to fold the foot in like that for Trashmaster, and then you want the back side of the leg facing out, and that will peg into the knee peg for Scraphook, and then just kind of like, you know, reorient this so you've kind of doing the digitigrade thing just like that, and then do that for both legs there. And then we'll connect those to the body in a bit, but before we'll kind of build the other sections. For the arms, the pieces that you're going to want are the Scraphook arms, both of them. You want the Scraphook little engine gun sections, the Scraphook like exhaust pipes here, and you want the like, you know, garbage truck arm sections from Trashmaster, which is how they'll actually connect to the body. So you want to do, what you want to do is take this little brown peg on the Scraphook arm and just kind of fold it up to get out of the way. Take the hand and just rotate it 90 degrees. It's actually going to peg onto the body this way, so this will be the outside of the arm. And you want to take one of these sections, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter which, and just plug that into the hand there. And then take this pipe section. It's the one that corresponds to the arm, if that helps, and just peg that into the arm there, and that kind of makes like little dino claws. And then you can take this piece here and use this peg on the arm section and plug it on like that, and then this peg is just going to end up pegging onto the body when we get there. So that's one arm done, and then we'll just do the same thing on the other side. Again, we can adjust that later. Just get the second little claw here. And that's the arms all done. And then last but not least, we'll do the tail. The main body of the tail is going to be the two Crashbar legs here. You want to take this one and take the spare tire from Scrap Heap and peg it onto this hole right here, but make sure one of the like the little sculpted broken spikes is facing kind of inward like that, so that you can you know, rotate out the handlebars and just kind of rotate this as far in as it'll go before it bumps into this section there, and that's the end of the tail. And then you want to take this peg here and plug that onto the bottom of the other foot for Crashbar, and then just kind of orient it up like that so the wheels are kind of, you know, going in line with the tail there. And then to actually attach it to the body, you want to take the Crashbar arms in their vehicle mode orientation, and you want it so the flat of the shoulder is facing the end, like, you know, the where it attaches, and you want to peg those onto to these sections where the back wheel is on Crashbar. And that's just how you want that. Again, one of them pegs in a little bit further than the other one just because there is this tab on one side, but it doesn't really matter. So it's not as solid a connection as it could be, but it's fine. And then you take the exhaust pipes from Crashbar, and you actually want to peg it on with this peg here onto the shoulder sections of Crashbar, and then we're actually going to use these pegs here to actually attach it to the main body. And then these pieces are kind of just like off to the side. So where I store them, what I do with them is I just take this section, the, like, you know, the crane section from Scraphook, and just plug it on here to the underside of the tail and just rotate it up like that. And then the hook just down in the bottom here. That's just the way that they're kind of most out of the way, but those are the only pieces that aren't actually, like, you know, being fully used. But otherwise it uses every single part from all three of them, which was a goal when I was building it. So yeah, we'll put this off to the side. Easiest thing to attach now is going to be the arms. So you just want to attach these to these ports down here. So it's like the arms aren't actually attached down there. When you want to move the arms around, you'll be moving it around on this peg, but you can kind of adjust, like, you know, how far up the arms are by, you know, moving around that as well. We'll just do that on both sides here, just like that. And then kind of bring these up to whatever height you want them to be at, and then whatever, you know, orientation you want the arms to be at as well. Yeah, more up like that. I like that better. And then for the legs, they're just going to, you kind of rotate these down a little bit. The legs are just going to peg into the back of the shoulder pegs on Trashmaster here. So you just want to do that. It's pretty tight connection here with these two pieces, so it can be kind of annoying. And then these panels will constantly be coming undone. Once you plug in the tail, it'll kind of stop that from happening, but it can be kind of annoying getting to that point. The connection between the tail and the back is the most dubious of this whole sort of arrangement here. So that's how we want it. And then basically what we're going to be doing is taking these pegs, which are again kind of shallow pegs from the exhaust ports from Crashbar, and plugging those in to these ports on the arms of Trashmaster, which is why these were going to be adjusted later, just because it's impossible to line that up ahead of time. So you just do it one at a time here, just like that. And then, these have to be kind of brought up, and then you have to just fiddle with this. And that's the main combiner there. Then obviously we can kind of, adjust his posture, and then, bring the tail up as much as we want. Let me just adjust the camera here for a sec, just so I can get him fully on frame here. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. It's a little bit more of like a, kaiju kind of like actually standing up dinosaur than the one that they showed off, which kind of had more like, the front legs were kind of on the ground as well. But I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. I didn't really see if there was actually much of a tail on the official version, but I really like having a tail there, and he can stand with that off the ground. This whole back section, this is like the one section that's a little bit dubious in terms of like, with the way that this like lines up, there is actually like a slight angle between these pieces. So these are like not fully pegged in, like, fully 90 degrees into their sockets. So it's like, it's all fine for the plastic, but like if this was like a Lego mock, that would be like an illegal kind of technique. If you want to think about it that way, it does kind of just have a big hole through his backside there. But I think that works the best. It's the best I could get it. But, in terms of like, if you want to use this as a base and then kind of like experiment around with it and see if you can come up with something better, obviously feel free to do so. Again, it's like sometimes the legs can be difficult to adjust to, just because, he's got a lot of weight on a couple of joints here. But it mostly holds its pose pretty good once you actually get it standing. It can just be kind of annoying to get it to that point sometimes. In terms of, really you're not getting a ton of articulation out of it. I mean, the head can kind of bend up and down, and then you can open and close the jaw, obviously. The arms, they're on swivels here, so you can rotate them up and down of the pegs. And then you've just got, the elbows and bicep swivel from the from Scraphook, which again is still way too tight. So sometimes that joint just comes off, and the elbows are a little bit loose, so it kind of flops around. And then you can kind of adjust the claw section here if you want the hand to be facing a little bit, you'd be a little bit more hidden. You can do that. You do have like a little bit of wiggle here in the body just from like the waist swivel of Trashmaster, which is kind of funny. And then the legs really don't get a ton of range, just because the whole way that the tail is attached is through these. So it's like when you're moving these around, you kind of have to move them in tandem. So you're just like adjusting the angle of the body rather than like, moving each thigh up and down. But if you want to use like the Trashmaster knee as a thigh thing, as a thigh rotation instead, you can do that. And then obviously, if you adjust the knees here, you do have the foot kind of sticking out, but you can do that. And then you can also use the Scraphook knees for a little bit more posability, and then you've got all of the posability of the Scraphook foot as well. So, decent articulation in this build, but like it's taking so much weight on the legs that really you just kind of want to get it into a pose and leave it there, and then you can kind of adjust the head and the arms. The tail, like you can wiggle it around a little bit and kind of like, rotate sections around, but mostly you're wanting to just kind of keep it locked in whatever position you want it. But yeah, no, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. In terms of comparisons with some other sort of relevant figures, here he is, just for some standard size comparisons, here he is with Sideswipe and Optimus Prime, just so you can see how it stacks up there. Here he is with the remaining Junkions in my collection, with the two current Studio Series ones, and then one of the Generations ones, just so you can see what he looks like with them. Here he is with my version of the fossilizer combiner. Right now it's got, the translucent ones with it. So, usually my version has uses Paleotrex and Ractonite, but it's just how I had it on the shelf currently is with the translucent ones. I wish we ever got like a translucent version of Wingfinger, so that you could do like a full kind of like glowy Energon one. Maybe like a translucent green Wingfinger would have looked really cool, but whatever. That's what they look like together as they are. And then just for some more dinos, here it is with Studio Series Grimlock, and then the Kingdom Megatron mold, just because I didn't feel like transforming Kingdom Megatron. Here he is with T-Rex. But yeah, so pretty much stacks up there. It's about the same size as they are. Obviously, a little bit more like chunky in the main body, but a little bit shorter. But yeah, no, I think they all look pretty good together. I think that's a fun kind of three big dinos, generally leader scale, kind of sitting together. I think that's a fun option there. But yeah, no, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. Like I said, there's probably some things you could adjust a little bit. You could kind of mess with the tail so the wheels are in a slightly different orientation. I kind of like the wheels kind of like making up like the spine of the tail there. I think that's kind of fun. But yeah, no, not much else to it. That's how you make my version of the Junkasaur or Junkasaurus or Junkasaurus Rex or whatever they're calling it. But yeah, don't really know how to end this video, so I'll just end it there. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews usually every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Make sure to check out my Trashmaster review so you can kind of get some of the context there for how Trashmaster as a figure works. But yeah, without further ado, here we have my version of the Junkion Legacy Evolution Junkasaur Combiner.